Resist the urge to compare your journey with those around you. I have ordained unique paths for each of you, full of turnings and hidden blessings. The measure of your life is not in outward achievements, but in the faithfulness and hope you carry through every twist and hardship. When you sense emptiness or find your prayers seem unanswered, do not lose heart. Silence is not abandonment. I am working in ways you do not see, drawing you deeper into trust and intimacy with me. Sometimes the answer you seek comes not as a change in circumstance, but as renewed strength within. I pour out peace that cannot be explained, guard your heart through storms, and shape your soul in gentle, unseen ways. In solitude, your spirit becomes more attuned to my whisper, and you learn that my love is constant even when feelings falter. You are never outside my care. In despair, I draw closer still, weeping with you, speaking hope when you are too weary to speak it for yourself. I am at work redeeming every painful chapter for your good. No scar, no failure, and no loss will keep you from my embrace or dim the brightness of my promise.
It is already day, and if you continue dragging sadness, you will get sick. Better listen to me until your mind clears. And when you feel that burden you carry on your back has been removed, and the aroma of my presence reaches your soul, tell me. I will take the pulse of your faith, and if you are ready to go out into life, I will tell you, because I want things to go very well for you out there. Come back tomorrow again. There are so many things I have to show you. I am giving you sensitivity, and I am preparing you for a spiritual mission. The people around you know it and see it. I am going to abundantly bless all who support you, your relatives and friends, but those who oppose will have to go another way. The development of spiritual maturity is a lifelong journey that progresses through distinct stages, each building upon the foundation of the previous one. Spiritual infancy is characterized by dependence, need for constant reassurance, focus on having needs met, limited understanding of spiritual truths, and vulnerability to being tossed about by every wind of doctrine. Spiritual children have moved beyond infancy, but still display childish characteristics like immaturity in judgment, self-centeredness, inconsistency in obedience, difficulty handling trials, and tendency towards spiritual competition and comparison. Spiritual young adults have grown beyond childhood, demonstrating strength, victory over the evil one, knowledge of my word, passion for spiritual things, and zeal for service, though sometimes lacking wisdom and balance. Spiritual parents have reached maturity, marked by the ability to reproduce spiritually. Wisdom gained through experience, consistent character regardless of circumstances. You might be imagining that I am going to give you enough energy to go back to doing everything you were doing before, just without the tiredness. The same pace, the same demands, the same overcommitted schedule, just more fuel to power through it. But that is not what renewed strength looks like. Renewed strength means a completely different approach to life. It means learning to operate from overflow instead of from reserves. It means understanding at the deepest level of your being that you were never designed to be the source of your own energy. You were designed to be connected to a source, and the source does all the heavy lifting. Picture a tree planted right at the edge of a deep, flowing river. That tree does not struggle to produce leaves. It does not strain and grunt and push trying to grow fruit. It does not exhaust itself trying to stay green through the dry season while everything around it turns brown. The tree simply extends its roots deep into the riverbed, and the water does the rest. The life of the river flows up through the roots, through the trunk, out through the branches, and fruit appears naturally, effortlessly, abundantly. That tree could stand in the middle of the worst drought in 100 years, with every other tree around it withering and crumbling and dying of thirst, and it would remain lush and green and loaded with fruit. Because its source is not the rain that comes and goes. Its source is not the weather that changes from season to season. Its source is the river, and the river is always flowing. I am your river. I have always been your river. Before you knew my name, before you understood my nature, before you recognized my presence, I was flowing beneath the surface of your life, available, accessible, waiting for your roots to grow deep enough to find me. My strength is the water that your roots were designed from the moment of creation to reach into and draw from. And for far too long, you have been trying to survive on rain. on the sporadic, unpredictable, inconsistent supply of your own energy, your own motivation, your own willpower, your own determination. Sometimes the rain came in abundance, and you felt invincible. You felt strong and capable, and like you could handle anything the world threw at you. I have to make this happen. I have to control the outcome. And that mindset leads to exhaustion, burnout, and anxiety. Rest says, I will do my part faithfully and trust God with the outcome. I will work hard and honor my responsibilities, but I know the results are in His hands, not mine. I will sow seed, but God brings the harvest. Can you see the difference? One is exhausting, the other is sustainable. One leads to fear and control, the other leads to peace and trust. And the ironic thing is, you will actually be more effective when you work from rest than when you work from striving. Because rest keeps you connected to wisdom, creativity, and divine strategy. Striving keeps you stuck in survival mode, just trying to keep your head above water. So practically, what does this look like? It looks like giving your best effort at work and then releasing the outcomes to me. It looks like caring for your family with love and intentionality, but trusting me with how they turn out, instead of thinking it all depends on your perfect parenting. It looks like managing your finances wisely, but trusting my provision, instead of lying awake, panicking about money. It looks like taking care of your health responsibly, but trusting me as your healer, instead of being consumed with medical anxiety. Do your part, trust me with the rest. That is the formula. And when you live that way, you will discover that life gets so much lighter. Not easier necessarily, but lighter. Because you are not carrying the weight of things that were never yours to carry. Now let me speak to the miraculous power that is about to be released in your life as you learn to rest. I told you at the beginning that I am the God of mighty miracles. I am not withholding from you because you have done something wrong. Sometimes scarcity is a result of living in a broken world. Sometimes it is the consequence of past decisions. Sometimes it is an attack from the enemy. Sometimes it is a season of pruning where I am teaching you to depend on me in ways you never have before. But regardless of why you are in this place, I want you to know that I am your provider. I am El Shaddai, the God who is more than enough. I am Jehovah Jireh, the Lord who provides, and I have never failed to take care of my children. Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? Look at the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If I clothe the grass of the field, which today is alive and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will I not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? Therefore do not be anxious, saying, what shall we eat? Or, what shall we drink? Or, what shall we wear? Your heavenly Father knows that you need all these things, but seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. I am not saying your needs are not real. I am not saying you should not work or be responsible or make wise decisions. I am saying, do not let worry consume you. Do not let fear drive you. Do not let anxiety steal your peace. Because worry does not empty tomorrow of its troubles. It empties today of its strength. And I need you strong. I need you full of faith. I need you trusting me even when you cannot see how I am going to come through. Here is what I want you to do. I want you to start thanking me for provision before you see it. I want you to start praising me for breakthrough before it manifests. I want you to start declaring that you are blessed, that you are provided for, that you have more than enough. Not because you are denying reality, but because you are calling forth a higher reality. You are speaking things that are not as though they were. You are exercising the creative power of your words. And when you do this in faith, you are actually partnering with me to release what I have already prepared for you in the spiritual realm into the physical realm. I have provision for you that you cannot even imagine. Jobs you do not know about yet. Opportunities you have not heard of. Connections that are about to be made. Ideas that are about to drop into your spirit. Favor that is about to open doors. But you have to position yourself to receive. And you position yourself through faith, through obedience, through stewardship of what you have now, and through a heart of generosity. When you give out of your lack, you are telling me you trust me. You are telling the enemy he does not control your finances. I want you to look in your life for small and big things you are grateful for. Walk with a clean conscience and my virtues in your heart. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the spiritual realm. When you choose to give thanks, even in difficult circumstances, something shifts. Your perspective changes, your hope is renewed, your joy begins to return, and you align yourself with the flow of my blessings. An ungrateful heart is a closed heart, unable to receive what I want to pour out. But a grateful heart is an open heart, positioned to recognize and receive the goodness that I am constantly sending your way. Start right now by listing things you are thankful for. Do not wait until everything is perfect. Do not wait until all your problems are solved. Find things right now, in the middle of the struggle, to be grateful for. Thank me for the breath in your lungs. Thank me for the people who love you. Thank me for the lessons you have learned through hardship. Thank me for the character that is being formed in you. Thank me for the fact that you are still standing, still fighting, still believing. As you cultivate this habit of gratitude, you will find that your capacity for joy expands and your resilience in the face of adversity increases. You are worth more. Your family is worth more. Your future is worth more than money, car, house, profession, employment, fame, or popularity. Do not be afraid to lose material things, and do not cry over them. Put first what does have value. Love me and seek me with all your strength. This is perhaps one of the hardest lessons for people living in a materialistic culture to learn. You have been taught from childhood that your worth is determined by what you own, what you achieve, what title you hold, what brand you wear, what neighborhood you live in. The entire economic system is built on convincing you that you need more stuff, better stuff, newer stuff in order to be happy and successful.
For I am with you, now and always. I see the depth of wondering within you, child. The ache for purpose, the desire to matter, the ache for fullness in a world that spills so much emptiness. You lift your eyes, asking if I notice, if I hear. Even in your silence, I hear your longing, every hope and every sigh. Every time your spirit stirs at beauty or weeps in disappointment, I am here. My nearness doesn't depend on your certainty or strength. My delight in you is not earned by your perfect prayers, by insightful words, by heroic acts. It finds its origin in my choosing, in my unbreakable promise to hold you close. All that stirs in your soul is safe with me. Your uncertainty, your doubts, your reaching for what you do not understand, these do not offend me, nor make you less welcome. I know your limitations, the way your mind wrestles with mysteries so much greater than your comprehension. Just as you trust the air to fill your lungs, trust me to surround you in questions that remain unanswered. I never grow weary of your repeated prayers, your return to the same places of hope and heartbreak. Every time you come, I open my arms wider, not with exasperation, but delight. There is no place you have wandered that I have not walked beside you, even when you could not sense my company. My constancy does not bend to your mood or disappear in the weight of your fears. Your fractured moments, the days you stumble through, the moments you fear you have shattered what is precious, none of these are beyond my reach. I am always near, reshaping the dust of even your brokenness into new beginnings. There is nothing wasted, not even the pain you carry in secret. I am the God who surrounds, who shields, who calls you mine. Even when you cannot feel the closeness you crave, I am still as near as your own breath. Place your hand over your heart again. Let my love soak through every barricade, every memory. You are not cut off. You are not invisible. Watch carefully. The next days will bring flashes of encouragement in unlikely places. Expect a song, a word, a smile from a stranger. Each one is strategically sent to sustain your faith. I am intentional in pursuing your heart. You may not see the full landscape that lies ahead, but I see it all. Before you ventured this path, I mapped the way and placed provision along every mile. Each yes you've whispered has unlocked doors only I could open. You are about to discover that even setbacks and delays were stages in your preparation. Beauty is bursting forth where disappointment tried to settle. The very things you thought disqualified, you will become the markers of your influence. Let that anticipation grow. Something extraordinary is rising within you, and I do not waste a single broken piece. Stay open, dear one. There is more transformation unfolding with every breath you take, every moment you dare to hope again. The awakening is not finished, and what I am birthing in you now will echo into eternity. There is still a mystery I am about to reveal, a depth of belonging you have only begun to sense. Are you ready to receive what only I can impart? Let your heart believe it. Beloved, you have carried the weight of unanswered questions, wondering why certain doors remained closed, why some prayers seemed to linger on the horizon of hope without stepping into your reality. But even now, as air moves softly through your space and your soul aches for assurance, I am faithfully working in dimensions you cannot yet perceive.
The moments were real. The gifts were real. They came from a source that is real and permanent and unchanged by the seasons in which no gift seemed to be coming. Now I want to walk through specific areas of your life with you, because my care for you is not abstract. It does not float at a comfortable theological distance from the actual texture of your days. It enters the rooms, it touches the details, it meets you where you actually live. Let us begin in your heart, that interior space where you are most truly yourself, where the real conversations happen, where hope either stays alive or slowly, quietly goes dim. The weight you carry there is fully known to me, not a simplified or summarized version of it. The actual weight in all its specific, textured, complicated fullness. The thing you have been processing alone because it is too complicated or too personal or too vulnerable to hand to another human being. The grief that sits beneath the surface of your days like a piece of furniture in a dark room. Something you navigate around without quite being able to look at directly. The longing that you have learned to muffle because the longing, fully felt, would be almost unbearable. My tenderness toward your heart is not reserved for the moments when your interior life is orderly, and your faith is strong, and your emotions are under good management. My generosity flows toward your heart precisely in the moments of its most raw and exposed need, because the healing of your heart is not a secondary priority that I get to after the more important spiritual work is done. It is the work. It is central. It is the very thing that restoration means. And I pour into that interior space the oil of gladness in exchange for mourning. I exchange heaviness for lightness. I come into the room that has been closed up for too long, and I open the windows and let in air that has been kept out. Because I am your father, and I cannot observe a wounded heart in my child without being moved to do something about it.
Yet it is in acknowledging your weaknesses that my strength is made most visible in your life. In the corners you believe unlovable or irreparable, I move quietly and restore what you thought forever lost. When the world burdens you with expectations and you find yourself weary of pretending, rest in this. I have loved you before you formed a single word or performed a single deed, and nothing can diminish that love. I do not weigh you by status or accomplishment, but I see the depths of your heart, where your truest beauty lies, hidden even from yourself at times. In your fragility, my presence is not repelled, rather it draws ever closer, offering comfort and renewal even when you see only your limitations. Many days bring confusion. You look for clear answers, for roads suddenly free from shadow. Yet I ask you to walk one step at a time, trusting that I lead with wisdom you cannot yet see. My promise is not always the removal of hardship, but the assurance that nothing you face will consume the light I kindle within you. When you tire of waiting, when disappointment sours your hope, remember that I do not measure your faith by unbroken strength, but by your courage to return after you stumble or turn away. My mercy is never exhausted, nor does it depend on your performance. You are not kept in my embrace by your perfection, but by my unchanging decision to hold you close. When sorrows press against your days and you wonder whether meaning can be found in what feels senseless, know this: not a single tear or lost hope escapes my notice. I take into myself the weight of all your pain, suffering nothing to be wasted in the mystery of my redemption. Grief may linger longer than you wish, uncertainty may stretch across seasons, yet even there, I am present, laboring gently for your healing, patient beyond your understanding, persistent in my purpose for your good. In time, what you now see dimly will become clear, and you will find that your life is richer for every place where you trusted me in the dark. Remember, too, that your story intertwines with lives you may barely notice. where your compassion reaches others in small ways, an encouraging word, a patient kindness, a presence that comforts. You become an echo of the love you have received from me.
And I know that process felt like loss. I know that watching your capacity diminish, watching your energy fade, watching your ability seem to shrink, felt like you were moving backward instead of forward. I know it felt like you were falling apart instead of being put back together. But I was overseeing every single moment of that dismantling process, and I never once let you fall beyond my reach. Not once did you slip past the boundary of my care. Not once did the stripping go further than I intended. Not once were you more vulnerable than my protection could cover. Every moment of that difficult season was measured, monitored, and managed by a hand that loves you more than you will ever fully comprehend. The exhaustion you have carried has taught you something that strength never could have taught you. It taught you where your own resources end. It showed you the precise boundary of what you can accomplish in your own power using your own energy, relying on your own reserves. And reaching that boundary was not failure. Reaching that boundary was the single most important discovery you could make, because on the other side of that boundary lies the infinite territory of what I can do through you. You needed to come to the end of yourself so you could find the beginning of what happens when my unlimited resources flow through a willing vessel. You needed to run completely dry so you could understand what it means to have access to a well that has no bottom, a river that has no end, a source that never diminishes no matter how much you draw from it. Let me explain this in a way that your heart can truly absorb. When a person has always had enough energy, they take energy for granted. They assume it comes from within themselves, from their own biology, their own determination, their own internal engine. They never question the source because the supply seems self-generating. But that assumption is an illusion. Every human being is drawing from a limited reservoir, and the only question is when that reservoir will be drained. Some people hit the wall earlier in life, some hit it later. But everyone who relies solely on their own reserves will eventually reach the bottom of the barrel and find nothing there but an echo. You hit the bottom, and it was terrifying. The echo bounced off the walls of your empty reserves, and the sound it made was loneliness and despair and the awful suspicion that maybe you were never as strong as you thought you were. But that sound, as painful as it was the most important sound you have ever heard. Because it revealed the truth that strength does not run out. You run out. The self runs out. But I never run out. My reserves have no echo because they have no bottom. My supply has no expiration because it flows from eternity itself. And now that you know the difference between your limited reservoir and my limitless river, you will never make the mistake of confusing the two again. That knowledge alone is worth everything the depletion cost you. For the roots that went deeper, for the heartwood that formed, for the lighthouse that was built in the storm. The future version of you will understand things about my faithfulness that the current version of you cannot yet understand, because some things are only knowable from the other side. Some of what I am doing right now in your life is not available for interpretation yet. The data is still being gathered. The chapter is still being written. The building is still being built. And the understanding of what it all meant, the full significance of this season in the whole of your story, belongs to a future version of you who will have the hindsight to see it clearly. Let me speak on behalf of that future version of you, the one who has come through this. The one who has held on and found that the holding on was worth it. The one who will stand on the other side of this season with the full testimony. That future version of you wants to say to the present version, hold on. It matters more than you currently know. What you are building right now, in the quiet and the difficulty and the ordinary persistence of choosing trust, is more important than anything you could build in the comfortable season. Hold on. The architect knows what he is doing. The foundation is holding. The building is coming together. And what it will be when it is finished is worth every stone that is being placed right now in the dark. This word is not wishful thinking. It is not spiritual optimism without foundation. It is based on the fact that I know the end of your story. I have seen the finished structure, and what I have seen is good. The end is not only survival. The end is the fullness of everything I designed for you before time began. realized in your specific life in specific ways that are uniquely yours. The end is the testimony that strengthens generations. The end is the depth of character that makes you someone people trust. The end is the unbreakable faith that serves as a lighthouse for everyone around you. The end is good, and I am building toward it, and you are in the middle of the building, and the building will be finished. Hold on, my steadfast one. Hold on. You are not doing this alone. You have never been doing this alone. I am asking you to lift your gaze, not in naivety, but in boldness born of revelation. Every disappointment that shattered you is now the ground from which new dreams are springing forth. Let hope surprise you. You will not be disappointed by my faithfulness. Say it aloud now, even if your voice trembles. I am not who I was. I am chosen. I am called. Let these words become the song that drowns out former accusations. Each time doubt tries to coil around your spirit, counter it with my truth. I am with you. I will never let you go. My hand is steady, and I will not drop what I lovingly carry. Beloved, the time for passive waiting is ending. This is the hour for bold, trembling faith. Lean into my whisper and step into what seems impossible. The world is starving for hope that is real, for voices that bear witness to resurrection on the far side of brokenness. Your scars do not disqualify you, they are the very mark of my restoration. Through you, my glory will be revealed yet again. There is so much more to unveil. Even when the skies seem the darkest, when it feels as though the night stretches on with no hint of sunrise, my assurance for you has never left. I am the one who set the rhythms of day and night, who gives every dawn its appointed moment. When waiting feels impossible and your prayers echo in silence, trust that silence is not absence. I see where you are. I know the pressure you carry, the hidden corners of your heart where you guard your deepest hopes. As you sit quietly, breathing in the hush of early hours or seeking me in the restless turning of your thoughts, know that my presence surrounds you like the gentle warmth that fills a room before you open your eyes. No detail of your life escapes my attention. Beloved, a plan is being shaped in ways you could not imagine. You are not adrift, nor have you missed your window of opportunity. I understand the ache of longing, how you watch others find what you are still hoping for. But my timing is not a barrier, it is your protection. Each day, as you persist in thankfulness, recalling even small moments of goodness, you are planting seeds. Do not underestimate what I can bring from these quiet, faithful moments. A grateful heart is not naive, it is powerful, and it aligns you with my movement. Do not weary yourself chasing after outcomes beyond your reach. Instead, ground yourself in my nearness each morning, letting my peace fill your first breath. I see the questions that flicker behind your eyes. What if I'm not enough? What if all the effort is wasted? My dear one, I formed you with intention, with gifts and abilities meant for now. Stop measuring yourself against the shifting standards of the world around you. I am inviting you to lay down comparison as a heavy garment that no longer serves you. Instead, rest under my covering of acceptance and belonging. You have a place with me that cannot be lost, no matter what comes or how others perceive your journey. My precious child, I want you to know that in this very moment, as you receive these words into your heart, my love for you is actively breaking every chain that has held you captive, destroying every stronghold that has limited your freedom, and dismantling every barrier that has stood between you and your destiny. The love I have for you is not passive, it is not inactive, and it is certainly not weak. My love is a powerful force that moves mountains, changes circumstances, transforms hearts, and breaks chains that have bound you for far too long. You have been carrying burdens that were never meant to be yours. You have been wearing chains that I never designed for your life. You have been accepting limitations that contradict my promises for your future. But right here, right now, I am declaring freedom over every area of your life where bondage has taken residence. My love is like a fire that burns away everything that does not belong in your story, like a flood that washes away every trace of the enemy's interference, like a mighty wind that blows away every obstacle that has been blocking your path. The chains that bind you are not just physical circumstances. They are spiritual, emotional, mental, and psychological barriers that have convinced you that you are less than what I created you to be. Some of these chains were forged by past mistakes, others by the words of people who did not understand your value, still others by disappointments that caused you to doubt my goodness. But regardless of how these chains were formed, or how long they have been in place, my love has the power to break every single one of them completely and permanently. I see the chain of fear that has wrapped itself around your dreams, whispering lies that you are not qualified, not worthy, not capable of achieving the things I have placed in your heart. That enjoying life freely would somehow dishonor the suffering or trivialize the struggle. But I did not design you for perpetual somberness. I created you with the capacity for deep, genuine, full-bodied enjoyment of the life I have given you. Joy is not the absence of awareness. Joy is the overflow of connection. And as your connection deepens and your strength is renewed, joy will begin to surface in unexpected moments and unexpected places, catching you off guard with its warmth and its reality. Let it come. Do not analyze it. Do not question whether you deserve it. Do not wonder when it will be taken away. Simply receive it as evidence that the renewal is working its way through every dimension of who you are. Let me describe the kind of strength you're going to carry from this point forward, because it is fundamentally different from what you had before. It is not nervous energy, that jittery, edgy alertness that comes from running on stress hormones and adrenaline. It is not the artificial vigor that comes from gritting your teeth and powering through on willpower alone while your body screams for you to stop. The strength I am placing in you is calm strength, deep strength, quiet strength. It is the kind of strength that does not need to announce itself or prove itself or perform for an audience. The kind that does not need to shout to be heard or flex to be felt. It is strength that is so deeply rooted, so solidly grounded, so thoroughly connected to an eternal and inexhaustible source that it can face any challenge without panic, any uncertainty without anxiety, any storm without being uprooted. This calm strength is what allowed a young shepherd named David to walk toward a giant that an entire army was afraid to face. Not because David was physically stronger than the professional soldiers who cowered behind their shields. Not because David had better weapons or more training or more experience, but because David was connected to a source of strength that the giant could not see and could not defeat and could not even comprehend. David walked toward that towering, armored, battle-hardened warrior with the calm, almost casual confidence of someone who understood clearly that the fight was not between a small shepherd and a large soldier. The fight was between a giant and a god. And a giant against a god is no contest at all. I want you to notice something else about that story that often gets overlooked. David did not become a warrior overnight. Before the giant, there were lions. Let this holy message sound in your mind daily. And dear daughter, dear son, I want you to be prospered in everything, just as your soul prospers. If you have faith that I can transform you, get up now and walk. Walk toward the blessing. I am extending my arms so that it is clear to you where you should direct your steps. Here in my hands I have your liberation. Your life can change if you can believe it. It is not about changes with your own strength. It is about trusting that I love you and I have the power. If you always spend your time thinking that you deserve the bad that has been happening to you, if every time I speak to you, you doubt my words, and you go to ask the opinion of those who serve the enemy, you will never be free or get anywhere. I want to help you, but your enemies convince you that you cannot get up. I want you to be free once and for all, but the liars fill you with doubts. Change now your way of thinking. Give me that mind that is struggling. Come with confidence. I am not going to judge you. Come tomorrow. You will hear my word. Your soul will be strengthened. We are going to go step by step toward your freedom. I want to reveal to you the ministry and protection of my angels, those powerful beings that I have assigned to watch over you, to protect you, to minister to you, and to work on your behalf. Many of my children do not realize that they are surrounded by angelic assistance, that there is a whole realm of supernatural help available to them, that they are not alone in their battles or their journey. My angels are real. They are powerful. They are active, and they are assigned to you. The scripture says that I give my angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways.
When prayers go unanswered and dreams come undone, do not think your hope is misplaced. I am able to redeem what feels wasted and breathe new life into dreams you have buried. My creativity far exceeds your imagination. Your future rests in hands that knit together beauty from ashes, joy that surprises you in sorrow. Continue to speak to me, even when your words are only sighs. I treasure every prayer, every groan uttered in hope, and every silence heavy with longing. You do not disappoint me by being human. I created you for relationship, not performance. You do not need to hide your pain or hide from mine. Let us walk together, for I delight to draw near to you, to share your journey, to gather you close when your own efforts and explanations falter. Press on, not because you are unshakable, but because I carry you. My love for you is the only sure foundation. Trust what I have spoken over you. You are mine, precious from the beginning and always, always beloved. Beloved, do not be afraid to share your burdens with me, or to let your weariness show. I see each moment when heaviness creeps into your spirit, when doubt and fear rise up and whisper that you are alone, but you are never alone. I am nearer than your breath, attentive to your silent sighs and the trembling of your heart. My love is tireless. Even in your seasons of exhaustion or sorrow, I do not withdraw. My presence holds you close, whether or not you sense me. Sometimes in your darkness you cannot see my hand, but light is not absent just because your eyes are shut. I remain steadfast and patient, waiting for you to trust that you are safe in me. When struggles pile upon you, and the world's weight threatens to crush your hope, remember that I do not expect you to carry it all by yourself. Cast your anxieties upon me, just as a child, worn by the day's labors, finds rest in the embrace of a parent. My arms do not tire. I am your refuge, a shelter that does not wear thin, a sanctuary that time or trouble cannot erode. Bring me every sorrow, every uncertainty. Tell me what aches within you, even the bitter things you feel ashamed to confess. Nothing you live through is insignificant to me. There is no emotion so raw, no anger, confusion, or grief, that I cannot handle it. I, who shaped you from dust and spirit, comprehend all the shades of your experience. I understand the depths you cannot voice. In those places I dwell with you. Let yourself receive comfort, even if you doubt that comfort can come. Too often, my children guard their hurts, thinking that toughening themselves will make them stronger or more worthy. It is in letting me in, letting my love saturate your wounds, that you gather true strength. You do not impress me by shutting me out, or by pretending you have no needs. I am not a distant observer appraising your performance. I am your father, attentive to each moment, guiding and urging you gently toward life.
Miracles flow most freely to those who are resting in faith, not those who are striving in anxiety. When you are worried and controlling, you are operating in the natural realm, trying to produce natural solutions. But when you rest in me, you position yourself in the supernatural realm, where I do things that defy natural explanation. Doors open that should have stayed closed. Provision comes from unexpected sources. People have a change of heart that medical science or human logic cannot explain. This is the realm where I do my best work, and you only access it through trust and rest. Let me paint you a picture of what life in this place of rest actually looks like. Because I think you have a misconception that resting in me means doing nothing. That is not what I am describing at all. When I tell you to rest, I am not telling you to become passive or irresponsible. I am not telling you to quit your job or neglect your duties or ignore your responsibilities. I am telling you to do all those things from a completely different posture. Imagine a tree planted by a river. The tree does not worry about drought because its roots go deep into a water source that never runs dry. The tree does not strive to produce fruit through sheer willpower. It simply stays connected to its source of life, and fruit comes forth naturally in its season. The tree does not exhaust itself trying to make its leaves stay green. It draws nutrients from the soil and water, and greenness is the natural result. This is the picture of a life lived in rest, rooted in me, drawing strength from me, producing fruit not through anxious effort but through abiding connection. This is what I want for you. I want you to go to work, but to work from a place of rest, knowing that I am ordering your steps and blessing the work of your hands. I want you to care for your family, but to care for them from a place of peace, knowing that I love them more than you do, and I am watching over them every moment. And you have been beating yourself up about it. You have been criticizing yourself for being too emotional, too sensitive, too reactive. You have been frustrated with the tears that come without warning, triggered by things that seem so small when you look at them rationally. You have been embarrassed by the anger that flares up over minor irritations, the sadness that descends without clear cause, the anxiety that spikes over things that you know logically should not bother you. And I want you to know that none of this means you are weak. None of this means you are broken or unstable or losing your grip. Your emotional volatility during this season of depletion was simply your inner self sending distress signals. Your emotions were telling you what your pride refused to admit, that you were running on empty, that you needed restoration at a level far deeper than a weekend off could provide, that the pace you had been maintaining required a power source greater than what you possessed on your own. So as I renew your strength, I am simultaneously renewing your emotional resilience. The things that have been getting under your skin are going to start losing their sharp edge. The words that have been cutting you are going to start deflecting off the restored shield of your inner peace. The situations that have been sending you into spirals of worry and anxiety are going to start looking manageable, even simple, from the elevated perspective that renewed strength provides. Not because you will become numb or cold or unfeeling. That is not what I want for you. But because when your strength reserves are full, your emotions are naturally protected. When your spirit is well nourished, your heart is stable and grounded. When your source is firmly connected, your peace is secure, regardless of what happens around you. I designed your emotions to be indicators, not dictators.
If you cannot yet believe with a child's assurance, let your longing bring you closer. I honor honest questioning. I meet you in your searching. Remember, faith is not the absence of uncertainty, but trust given even as you walk in the unknown. As you take each uncertain step, I walk ahead of you and beside you, preparing the way, sheltering your hope. Rest in this truth. I am relentless in my love. No mistake is beyond my forgiveness. No fear exceeds my peace. Even when you falter, I remain steadfast. You are never alone, even when you feel abandoned by all others. The foundation beneath your life is my faithfulness, steadfast and true, even when you cannot sense it. Let this assurance settle your fears and quiet your striving. Raise your eyes in hope, even when circumstances press in tightly. Trust that I am at work in ways you cannot see, and though the story I am writing through your life holds chapters of trial, its ending is unwaveringly good. In the waiting, be gentle with yourself. I am gentle with you. Let my love anchor your worth. Turn to me not only in desperation, but in gratitude, in wonder, in the ordinary pulse of your days. Do not measure my care by the ease or comfort you experience, but let your heart become attuned to my presence, even in the hard places. I am forming in you a hope that cannot be extinguished, a peace that withstands every storm. There is no darkness my light cannot penetrate, no brokenness I cannot restore. My love remains unchanged, carrying you through every season, shaping you not in spite of struggle, but often by it. So walk with courage, not because life will spare you from pain, but because I am with you through it all.
Conversations will connect you to open doors. Relationships will restore faster than you imagined. This is the reward for your endurance. What seems still was actually being supernaturally accelerated beneath the surface. You planted faithfully, and now the harvest is coming suddenly. But as favor grows, so must your foundation. Do not let success pull you away from stillness. The secret to sustaining overflow is remaining grounded in gratitude. Never let what's happening around you distract you from the presence within you. Before every great decision, pause, breathe, and listen. I am there in that silence.
giving you the wisdom to move strategically. You will make fewer moves, but each one will matter more. That is how divine strategy works. It replaces busy with brilliant. Remember, the same power that started this shift will sustain it. You do not need to fear losing momentum. What I begin, I finish. The energy you feel is not temporary hype. It is permanent transformation. You are learning to live from spirit, not survival, to create from confidence, not from scarcity. This is what it means to live awakened. You are about to see why it had to happen this way. The very things you questioned, the delays you didn't understand, the detours that frustrated you, all of them were part of divine engineering. I was never late, and you were never lost. I was preparing you in silence, so that when visibility came, you would be steady. You had to grow roots before you could grow fruit. Now, the fruit of your faith is ready to appear. This season is not about rebuilding what was lost. It's about birthing what has never existed before. You are not going back. You are going beyond. What I am doing in your life is not restoration in the sense of returning to what was. It is elevation into what's next. I am not recreating your past. I am reimagining your future. I am taking my rightful place as a beloved child of God who trusts their Father completely. And when you make that choice, when you really settle into that place of rest, hell takes notice, because they know what is coming next. Breakthrough, miracles, transformation, the manifestation of promises that have been delayed by your striving. Let me address your specific situation right now, because I know exactly what you are facing. I see the way you wake up in the middle of the night and cannot get back to sleep, because your mind immediately goes to the thing you are most worried about. I see how you reach for your phone hoping for a distraction, but end up scrolling through news or messages that just add more anxiety. I see how you finally fall back asleep just before you need to wake up, so you start your day already exhausted. This pattern ends now, starting right here in this moment. When you wake in the night, instead of letting your mind run to worry, I want you to speak my name, Jesus, just that. And then I want you to pray one simple sentence. Father, I trust you. That is all. Do not review your problems. Do not rehearse conversations. Do not plan contingencies. Just speak my name and declare your trust, and then rest. Let your body relax. Let your mind quiet. And watch what I do in that moment. Watch how peace comes and sleep returns. And in the morning, before you check your phone or think about your to-do list, I want you to spend a few minutes with me. Not out of obligation, not rushing through a religious routine so you can check it off your list, but actually connecting with me. I want you to notice what stirs now. There is a gentle urging, a sense that you were made for more than simply surviving. That's not accidental. That is my voice, planting seeds of destiny in your heart. Hear this. You are marked for impact. When you choose to surrender your story, you become a beacon for those who wander in darkness. Your vulnerability is not weakness, it is a door through which my healing light pours out to others. Soon, you'll see how even the scars you carry will shine with purpose. Someone desperately needs the freedom I'm releasing through your testimony, even if you cannot yet see their face. Breathe deeply right now. Feel my presence circling you like a shield. I know, doubts still whisper. What if I am not prepared? What if I fail? Those voices are echoes of an old narrative, one that no longer governs your path. You were created to partner with me, not perform to earn love. In this moment, allow my assurance to settle heavy over your anxiety. I am not sending you out alone. My spirit goes before, behind, and beside you, empowering what you cannot do in your own strength. You may wonder if this hidden season has disqualified you for greater things. Nothing could be further from truth. My greatest works are often born in obscurity, watered by tears, and revealed at the appointed time.
Don't despise the days that felt barren. They were never wasted. I cherish your faithfulness when no one was watching, your prayers that rose in the night, your feeble yes when fear tried to silence you. Every surrendered moment has shaped you into a living testimony of resilience and mercy. Pause. You do not walk this journey alone, nor are you expected to carry the burdens of others by your own strength. I give you companions, those who share in joy and struggle, who become sources of encouragement and truth. Cherish these relationships as gifts, for in loving and being loved, you experience the richness of my own heart. Where conflict or misunderstanding arises, seek reconciliation. Let forgiveness and compassion guide your way, just as I have shown you undying grace. You are called not to perfection, but to faithfulness, to show kindness where you can, to speak with gentleness, and above all, to remember that no one is too far removed from my embrace. There will be days when pain or disappointment feels more real than hope. In these moments, do not be afraid to bring your honest lament before me. I am not distant from your suffering. My own tears have mingled with yours in the darkest nights. When grief overwhelms, let your sorrow touch me, and find comfort in the assurance that you are never abandoned. I hold every heartbreak and celebrate each moment of renewal. Trust that even wounds and losses can yield new life under my healing touch. Nothing is wasted, for I am at work in every season, drawing goodness from what seems broken. Sometimes, you may struggle to believe that you matter in the vastness of the world. Remember, it is I who breathed life into you and called you by name. Your presence is no accident. Whatever your circumstances, your existence bears significance, and your small acts of love send ripples farther than you perceive. Never underestimate the gentleness of a kind word, the power of an embrace, or the strength found in simply showing up. I take delight in the way you reflect my image, even in your most ordinary moments. There is not an aspect of your being that escapes my attention or care. As you grow, sometimes slowly, sometimes in leaps, let patience be your companion. Real transformation arises not from striving alone, but from abiding in my love. Lift your eyes from the futility of comparison. You are not called to replicate another's path, but to walk with integrity in your own. Each soul, precious and irreplaceable, is a reflection of my boundless creativity. Where you sense limitations, see them as opportunities for trust. Where you feel longing, let that yearning point you toward my sufficiency. I do not despise your weakness, for in it my strength is made perfect. Whatever burdens you carry, you do not carry them alone. I am your helper. If you lose your way, I am already searching for you, eager to restore and renew. Delight too in the beauty that surrounds you, the laughter shared, the wonder of creation, the unfolding of new beginnings. Your heart is no longer a dumping ground for the pain that other people inflicted on you. I have cleansed it all. I have purified it all. I have made it all new. You are clean. You are forgiven. I need you to accept this truth right now, not as a concept you understand intellectually, but as a reality you embrace with every fiber of your being. I am not saying that you are perfect. I am not saying that you will never be tempted again. I am not saying that you will never stumble or struggle or face moments of weakness. You are my child, and I love you with a love that is deeper than the ocean and higher than the heavens. But you are also human. You have flesh and blood running through your veins. You have emotions that can be manipulated, thoughts that can be influenced, desires that can be twisted by the enemy. You are going to continue in the battle. The fight is not over just because you have been forgiven. The war is not finished just because I have declared you clean. But you are no longer fighting alone. You are no longer walking through the battlefield without protection. You are no longer standing in the trenches without backup. I am with you. I am holding your hand. I am covering your back. I am going before you to clear the path. And I am standing behind you to protect you from attacks that come from directions you cannot see. If you accept the challenge of seeking me every single day, if you make the decision to love me with all the strength of your soul and all the power of your mind, if you surrender your life to me completely without holding anything back, then I will be with you always. I will be ready to lift you up when you fall. He saw that every bit of his suffering, every moment of injustice, every year of waiting was part of a bigger plan. A plan to save nations, a plan to preserve families, a plan to fulfill destiny. And that is exactly what I am doing in your life. The pain you have experienced is positioning you to help others who are experiencing the same pain. The battles you have fought are equipping you to help others fight their battles. The valleys you have walked through are giving you the empathy to walk alongside others in their valleys. Nothing is being wasted. Everything is being redeemed. And you're about to see how all the pieces fit together in a way that makes perfect sense. So do not despise your past. Do not regret your journey. Do not wish you could go back and change things. Because if you did, you would not be who you are today. You would not have what you have today. You would not be positioned for what is coming. The path you have walked, difficult as it has been, was the exact path you needed to walk to get you where I am taking you. And where I am taking you is worth everything it took to get there. Now, as we come to the end of this message, I want you to do something. I want you to take a moment and thank me. Not just for the good things, but for everything. For the hard things that made you stronger. For the painful things that made you wiser. For the confusing things that taught you to trust me. For the delays that taught you patience. For the denials that protected you. For the losses that made room for gains. Thank me for all of it. Because all of it was necessary. All of it was purposeful. And all of it was part of my perfect plan for your life. And then I want you to declare something over yourself. Say it out loud. Let your ears hear it. Let your spirit receive it. Let the enemy hear it and tremble. Declare, I am a child of God. I am loved. I am chosen. I am forgiven. I am redeemed. I am protected. I am provided for. I am healed. I am whole. I am victorious. I am walking in divine purpose. I am fulfilling my destiny. I am blessed to be a blessing. I am more than a conqueror. I am seated in heavenly places. I am an heir of God and co-heir with Christ. I am the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. I am filled with the Holy Spirit. I am empowered for service. I am anointed for breakthrough. I am positioned for promotion. I am ready for what God has next. I am not moved by what I see. I am only moved by what God says. I am standing on His promises. I am trusting His timing. I am believing for the impossible. I am walking by faith and not by sight. Not because they deserve it, but because you need to be free. When you forgive, you are not doing the other person a favor. You are releasing yourself from a prison of bitterness that would destroy your joy, your peace, your relationships, and your effectiveness for my kingdom. Forgiveness is often a process, not a one-time event. You may need to forgive the same offense repeatedly as memories surface and emotions flare. Each time the pain returns, you must make the conscious choice to release it again, to refuse to pick up the burden you have laid down. This is not weakness. This is perseverance in obedience. Some wounds are so deep, some betrayals so devastating, that you cannot humanly generate the grace needed to forgive. In these cases, you must ask me to pour my forgiveness through you, allowing my supernatural grace to accomplish what your natural capacity cannot. I will give you the strength to forgive what seems unforgivable when you ask me for help. Forgiveness does not always mean reconciliation. Gratitude must be cultivated deliberately, especially during difficult seasons when thanksgiving does not come naturally. You must choose to focus on what is right rather than what is wrong, on what is working rather than what is broken, on blessings received rather than blessings denied. This is not positive thinking or denial of reality. This is choosing to see reality through the lens of my goodness and faithfulness, rather than through the lens of your circumstances. Gratitude produces tangible benefits in your life. It increases joy, reduces stress, improves physical health, strengthens relationships, enhances spiritual sensitivity, and opens your eyes to see blessings you would otherwise overlook. Grateful people are content people. They do not need more to be happy because they have learned to appreciate what they already have. They do not compare themselves to others who have more because they are focused on thanking me for what I have provided. They do not live in perpetual dissatisfaction because they have discovered the secret of being content in any and every situation. Gratitude also honors me in a way that few other responses do. When you thank me, you are acknowledging that every good and perfect gift comes from above, that you are dependent on my provision, that you recognize my involvement in your life. This pleases me and draws my attention to you in a special way. A time of great blessings is coming for your family and for you. You have kept the faith. You are still standing. I am ready to bless you. You are now qualified to receive all the things I have prepared for you. I also want your bad times to be left behind, for you to remove from yourself that feeling that you are a failure. Not like you have been. We're going to cross the ocean of your difficulty, the vast sea of your problem. Even though you see agitated seas, choppy waters, rough conditions, waves that hit you, crash over you, so big and strong, threatening, dangerous, I'm with you, in the boat, on the water, holding you. You will not sink, will not drown, will not go under. Cast off your fears, throw them overboard, release them, and think about the blessings. Focus on them. Meditate on them. You will receive when you reach your destination, when you arrive at the other shore, when you complete this journey. Like a little child trusts completely, absolutely, without question, those who love and protect them, their parents, their guardians. Remain with that feeling of confidence, that attitude, that posture, and an attitude of hope, of expectation, of anticipation. The black clouds, dark, threatening, ominous, want to hide from you the sun of your freedom. Block the light, create darkness. Keep you from the light that will illuminate you, the truth that will free you. But the heaven and the earth are mine. I made them. I own them. I control them. I am the creator of the universe. Every galaxy, every star, every planet. And my creation obeys my voice, responds to my word, submits to my command. I'm blowing new winds of restoration, fresh winds, healing winds, renewing winds. The threats of storm have gone away, departed, dispersed, dissolved. The rays of sun, warm, bright. I am fighting battles in the heavenly realm that you cannot see. I am dismantling plans that you do not know about. I am protecting you from dangers that you are not aware of. And when the spiritual atmosphere is clear, when the enemy has been defeated, when the way is prepared, then your breakthrough will come. Sometimes I delay because there are lessons you need to learn during the waiting period. Patience, faith, trust, surrender, dependence on me. These are qualities that cannot be taught in a classroom. They can only be developed through experience, through testing, through waiting, when everything in you wants to rush ahead. And sometimes I delay simply because my ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts. And I see things you cannot see. I know that what you are asking for right now is good, but I have something better planned for later. I know that what you want is acceptable, but I have something exceptional prepared for the right moment. So what should you do while you wait? Trust me. Keep believing my promises even when you do not see evidence of their fulfillment. Keep speaking words of faith even when your circumstances seem to contradict them. Keep praising me for what I am doing, even when you cannot see what I am doing. Keep moving forward in obedience, even when you do not understand my timing. Keep your eyes on me, not on the calendar. Your breakthrough is not dependent on how long you've been waiting. It is dependent on my perfect timing, which is always right, always best, always worth the wait. And when your moment comes, when my timing is fulfilled, when everything is perfectly aligned, you will receive your breakthrough. And I know that your identity has been under attack. The enemy has been working overtime to convince you that you are less than you are, that you are weak when you are strong, that you are insignificant when you are valuable, that you are a failure when you are an overcomer, that you are rejected when you are chosen, that you are forgotten when you are remembered, that you are abandoned when you are pursued. All lies. Every single one of them. Lies designed to keep you from stepping into who I created you to be and doing what I called you to do. So let me settle this once and for all. Let me tell you who you really are. You are my child, not a distant relative, not a casual acquaintance, not someone I barely know. My child, my beloved, my chosen, my treasured possession. You belong to me. You are part of my family. You carry my DNA. You bear my image. You reflect my nature. You represent my character. This is not something you earned. This is not something you achieved. This is not something you qualified for through good behavior. This is something I declared over you before you were born. This is something I established when I created you. This is something I confirmed when I called you, and nothing you do or fail to do can change it. Your identity is not based on your performance. Your identity is rooted in my decision to make you mine. You are chosen, not by accident, not by random selection, not because there was no one better available. Chosen deliberately, intentionally, purposefully. Before the foundation of the world, I chose you. I selected you. I picked you. I decided that you would be mine. I determined that you would carry my purposes. I established that you would display my glory. You did not choose me first. I chose you first. You did not pursue me initially. I pursued you initially. You did not seek me out originally. I sought you out originally. And I chose you knowing everything, knowing your weaknesses, knowing your failures, knowing your struggles, knowing your shortcomings. I chose you anyway, not in spite of those things, but with full awareness of them. Because my choice is not based on your perfection. My choice is based on my purpose. And I chose you because I have a plan for your life that requires exactly who you are, including your weaknesses. Because my strength is made perfect in weakness. You are called, not just to salvation, though that is primary, but called to purpose, called to assignment, called to destiny, called to impact, called to influence, called to make a difference, called to leave a mark, called to change things, called to shift atmospheres, called to transform lives, called to advance my kingdom. You are not here by accident. More important than your marriage, than your children, than your friendships, than your career. If your relationship with me is strong, everything else will be built on solid foundation. If your relationship with me is weak, everything else will eventually crumble. Make time with me a non-negotiable priority. Do not just fit me into the margins of your schedule. Give me the first fruits of your time, your energy, your attention. Meet with me before you meet with anyone else. Talk to me before you talk to anyone else. Let me fill you before you pour out to others. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot lead your family to a place of intimacy with me if you are not walking in that intimacy yourself. Protect this relationship above all else. Teach your children about me not just with words, but with your life. Do not just tell them about me. Show them. Let them see you worshiping. Let your worship be authentic, not just singing songs, but truly connecting with me, truly expressing love and gratitude and surrender. Let them hear you praying, not just rehearsed prayers before meals, but real conversation with me about real things. Let them hear you pouring out your heart to me, asking for help, giving thanks, interceding for others. Let them witness you trusting me when circumstances are difficult. Let them see you choosing faith when everything suggests you should panic. Let them watch you standing on my promises when everything visible contradicts them. Let them observe you waiting on me when the pressure is on to take matters into your own hands. Model for them what a life surrendered to me looks like. Show them what it means to follow me even when it costs something. Show them what it means to obey me even when it does not make sense. Show them what it means to prioritize my kingdom over your own comfort. Show them what it means to love people who are hard to love. Show them what it means to forgive people who do not deserve it. Redemption was purchased. Death was defeated. Hell was conquered. All because of surrender. And I am calling you to the same thing. Not to die on a cross, but to take up your cross daily. To deny yourself. To follow me wherever I lead, whatever it costs. Because the life you are trying to save by holding on to control, you will lose. But the life you lose by surrendering to me, you will find. And it will be richer, fuller, more abundant than anything you could create for yourself. Let me show you something about the battles you face. There are 3 types of battles. There are battles I want you to fight, where I give you strategy and empower you to stand and engage the enemy. There are battles I want to fight for you, where you are to be still and watch me work. And there are battles I want you to walk away from, because engaging would be a waste of your time and energy. Discerning which is crucial. Because if you try to fight a battle I want to fight for you, you will wear yourself out unnecessarily. If you walk away from a battle I want you to fight, you will miss an opportunity for growth and victory. And if you engage in a battle you should walk away from, you will waste precious time and resources that should be invested elsewhere. So how do you know the difference? You ask me, you seek my face, you wait for my direction, and I will show you. I will give you wisdom. I will make it clear what you are supposed to do. Sometimes that means standing your ground and speaking my word with boldness. Sometimes that means getting on your knees and interceding until breakthrough comes. Sometimes that means walking away and refusing to be drawn into drama that does not concern you. But whatever the situation, if you ask me, I will tell you. And if you obey me, you will walk in victory. There is a specific area of your life where you have been fighting the wrong battle. You have been trying to change something that I never asked you to change. You have been struggling against something that I never told you to struggle against. You have been exhausting yourself trying to fix something that only I can fix. And I am telling you right now, let it go. Release it to me. Stop trying to control it. Stop trying to manipulate it. Stop trying to force it to be what you think it should be. Surrender it into my hands and trust me to handle it. Because what you are doing is not working. It has never worked. And it will never work. All the wonders I will do in your life, miracles that will leave you speechless, provisions that will make you weep with gratitude, breakthroughs that will cause you to dance with joy, healings that will make you shout my name, restorations that will make you believe in the impossible. And I will embrace you again and again with my love, in moments of triumph and moments of struggle, in seasons of abundance and seasons of lack, in times of clarity and times of confusion. My love will wrap around you like a father's arms around a child who has been scared, like a mother's embrace of a child who has been hurt, like a friend's hug for someone who has felt alone for far too long. These beautiful emotions you're feeling right now as you read these words, these tender feelings rising up in your chest, this is just a taste of what awaits you if you dare to believe. Look at how great the love is that I'm offering you right now. Not someday. Not when you get your life together. Not after you overcome your struggles. Right now. Today. This moment. This love that has been pursuing you your entire life. This love that has never given up on you even when you gave up on yourself. This love that has been whispering your name even when you weren't listening. This love that has been working behind the scenes of your life even when you didn't believe in me. You are my daughter. My son. Those aren't just titles. Those aren't just religious words. They carry weight. They carry meaning. They carry rights and privileges and access. You have direct access to my heavenly throne. You don't need an appointment. You don't need to go through intermediaries. You don't need to wait your turn. You can come to me at any moment of any day. You can talk with me about anything. You can tell me everything that's happening to you, everything you're feeling, everything you're thinking, everything you're afraid of, everything you're hoping for. There are no secrets from me anyway. I already know, but I want to hear it from you. I want the intimacy of you sharing your heart with me. I know every detail of your being, every corner of your mind, every hidden thought you've never spoken aloud, every buried emotion you've tried to forget. I know it all, and I love you anyway. Actually, I love you not in spite of knowing everything, but because I know everything, and I choose you anyway. Come to me. Stop hesitating. Stop thinking you need to clean yourself up first. Stop waiting until you feel more spiritual, or more worthy, or more put together. That is enough. Something else is available to you as part of this inheritance. The companionship of the Spirit, who is given to live in you not as a reward for spiritual accomplishment, but as the guarantee of your inheritance, the seal that proves you belong. The Spirit does not come and go based on how well your devotional life is going. The Spirit is present with you in the ordinary, unremarkable, sometimes discouraging, sometimes quietly joyful reality of your everyday life. The Spirit intercedes when you do not have words. The Spirit guides when the path is unclear. The Spirit comforts when the weight is too much. The Spirit brings to your remembrance the things that the noise of daily living has pushed to the background. That is not a minor addition to your life. That is the full God, choosing to be present with you, because boundless love cannot bear to leave you to navigate alone. Let me tell you something about the seasons that have looked, from inside them, like scarcity. Because sometimes what appears to be a withholding is actually a preparation. Sometimes the empty jar is not empty because the oil has run out permanently, but because it is being positioned in precisely the right moment for filling. And sometimes the wilderness, the season that feels most isolated and dry and apparently purposeless, is the season in which some of my most important and careful work is being done in the depth of a person. But here is something I want you to consider with real honesty, because it touches something that many of my children carry, without ever examining it closely. There is a difference between gratitude and entitlement, and the distance between them is the distance between a heart that is open to receive and a heart that is quietly closed without knowing it. Entitlement says, "I have been faithful, so the blessings should come on my schedule." Entitlement keeps a ledger of spiritual effort and expects a corresponding return. But hope is rising again, like flowers pushing through concrete, like grass growing in the cracks. Hope is finding its way back to the surface. Vision is returning to eyes that had grown dim. You lost sight of where you were going. You lost clarity about your purpose. You lost vision for your future. Everything became blurry and unclear. But vision is returning. You are starting to see again. Starting to see possibilities you could not see before. Starting to see doors you did not notice before. Starting to see the path forward that was hidden before. You are being refreshed at a soul level. Not just feeling better for a moment, actually being renewed from the inside out. I know you have been trying so hard, trying to make it work, trying to fix it yourself, trying to control the outcome, trying to force doors open, trying to change people, trying to manage every detail, trying to prevent every disaster, trying to be strong enough, smart enough, good enough, fast enough, organized enough, spiritual enough. And you are exhausted, because you were never meant to carry that weight. You were never meant to be your own savior. You were never meant to figure it all out on your own. You were designed to depend on me, to lean on me, to trust me, to let me carry what is too heavy for you. I am not asking you to try harder. More effort is not what is needed here. I am asking you to surrender more, to let go of the illusion of control. You think if you just hold on tight enough, if you just manage it well enough, if you just think it through thoroughly enough, you can control the outcome. But control is an illusion. You cannot control other people. You cannot control circumstances. You cannot control timing. You cannot even fully control yourself. There are things beyond your control, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you release it, the freer you will be. To release the grip you have on outcomes, your hands are clenched in fists holding onto things so tightly that your knuckles are white. And let the receiving, over time, become the settled way you hold yourself. The natural posture of someone who knows who they are and whose they are, and what that means about the infinite, permanent, unconditional value with which they move through this world. My beloved child, that is who you are. My personal treasure, my most precious jewel, the one I made with intention, and breathed with life, and named with love, and hold with care, and will never, ever let go. Believe it, because I do. We are drawing close to the end of this conversation, and I want to seal what has been said with the same care and the same love with which it was opened. Something has happened in this time together. Not just information transferred, not just theological propositions communicated to your mind. Something spoken from the deepest place in me toward the deepest place in you. The kind of word that, when it lands in the right soil, changes the climate of a life. The kind of truth that does not expire when the conversation ends. The kind of declaration that was true before I said it, and will remain true long after the words have faded from your immediate memory. long after this listening moment has passed into the ordinary flow of your days. I began by telling you that I had been keeping something from you. A surprise. A revelation that was not a surprise to me, having known it since before the beginning of time, but that I wanted to present to you with all the care and the ceremony and the joy it deserves. And the revelation was this: you have a value you cannot fully comprehend. Your value comes from me. It was placed in you before you knew anything, before you could do anything, before any of the circumstances of your life had a chance to either confirm or deny it. It is woven into the very substance of who you are, as inseparable from you as your breath. And nothing, not your worst season, not your longest failure, not the most painful rejection you have ever faced, not the most damaging voice that has ever spoken about you, nothing in this world or beyond it has been able to remove it. Here is what I want to say to you one final time before this conversation closes. You are infinitely valuable to me. Not approximately valuable, not valuable in the general way I value the beauty of creation, but infinitely, specifically, personally, irrevocably valuable. The kind of valuable that caused me to pay the maximum price on your behalf, without hesitation, without regret, without a calculation of whether you were worth it, that came out favorably only barely. You are worth everything. The price was paid with that certainty, and it speaks louder than anything else that has ever been said or suggested about you. You are not an accident.
Do not be afraid to tell me the truth that lives in your soul. Bring me your anger and confusion, your questions that seem too deep or too difficult to voice. I am not offended by the storms inside you. I am the one who calms them. When you feel alone, I am already with you, holding every part of you with unwavering tenderness. You may grow weary on the journey, stumble with your own mistakes, or wonder if you have missed my path, but my faithfulness is not shaken. I walk every step with you, not only in triumph but also in trouble, drawing nearer when you falter, ready to lift you again. Many believe they must earn my approval or prove themselves worthy of my love. Lay down that burden. My love does not waver with your success or failure, nor is it a prize for the deserving. It is yours because you are mine from the very beginning, before you performed a single deed. My love is the great certainty under all things. I stand with open arms, willing each day to renew you with grace. When you come to me weary and heavy laden, I do not sigh with disappointment. I rejoice that you have turned toward me. There is no moment too late, no heart too wounded for my healing. Trust that my plans for your life are not fragile nor contingent on your perfection. Still, I do not demand that you understand all that unfolds. I invite you to trust me even when the path is dark. I see what you cannot. I hold what is yet unseen. I remember your prayers, even those whispered in desperation, and I gather every hope you entrust to me. Some answers may delay and some sufferings feel unending, but I remain your faithful companion, shaping every moment toward your good. Do not measure my love by your circumstances, for I work in ways that overflow even the limits of your imagination. In your suffering and disappointment, I do not ask you to pretend or offer empty gratitude.
As you regularly fill your mind with my promises, my character, and my ways, you build a reservoir of truth that automatically counters lies when they arise. My word becomes a sword that cuts through deception and a shield that protects you from the enemy's attacks. Fellowship with other believers who are also walking in freedom will provide you with encouragement, accountability, and support as you continue to grow in liberty. Iron sharpens iron, and being around other free people helps you stay free. They can speak truth to you when you are tempted to believe lies, encourage you when you are discouraged, and celebrate with you as you continue to experience greater levels of freedom. But be careful not to spend too much time with people who are still bound by the chains you have been freed from, especially if they are not interested in their own freedom. While you are called to love everyone and help those who want help, you must protect your freedom by limiting your exposure to people whose bondage could influence you negatively. This is not being unloving, it is being wise. Remember that your freedom has an enemy who wants to steal, kill, and destroy what I have done in your life. He will use every strategy available to try to get you to return to bondage. He will remind you of past failures, present you with current temptations, and paint frightening pictures of future possibilities. He will use people, circumstances, and even your own thoughts and emotions to try to convince you that your freedom is not real or not permanent. When these attacks come, and they will, you must immediately remember who you are, what I have done for you, and the authority I have given you. You must speak truth out loud, declare my promises over your life, and resist the devil with the confidence that he must flee from you. You must not entertain his lies, negotiate with his temptations, or fear his threats. And here is another powerful principle: the power of your testimony. When you testify about what I have done, you are not just sharing a story. You are activating the same power that did it before to do it again. When you testify about how I healed you, healing power is released. When you testify about how I delivered you, deliverance is activated. When you testify about how I provided for you, provision flows. Your testimony is prophetic. It declares what I have done, and it releases faith for me to do it again. This is why the enemy tries to silence your testimony. He does not want you to talk about what I have done, because he knows that when you do, the same power is released to do it again for you and for others who hear your testimony. So testify. Tell what I have done. Share your story. Declare my faithfulness. Talk about the miracles, the blessings, the breakthroughs, the victories. Every time you do, you are building your faith, encouraging others, defeating the enemy, and releasing power for more miracles. But guard your mouth from negative speech. Stop complaining. Complaining is not just expressing frustration. It is speaking against my provision, my wisdom, my care. It opens the door for the enemy and closes the door to my blessing. Stop criticizing. Your critical words about others damage them and damage you. They poison the atmosphere, grieve my spirit, and block the flow of my blessing. Stop gossiping. Do not be a messenger of slander, a carrier of tales, a spreader of rumors. Your words have the power to destroy reputations, ruin relationships, and wreck lives. I will hold you accountable for every idle word. Stop cursing yourself. Learn to recognize his voice. Learn to trust his leading. Learn to obey his promptings. Your life will be so much smoother, so much safer, so much more blessed when you walk in sync with the Holy Spirit. Fifth, guard your heart and your mind. The enemy gains access through what you allow in. What you watch, what you listen to, what you read, what you meditate on, what you dwell on, all of it affects your spiritual atmosphere. If you are constantly filling your mind with fear through the news, with darkness through entertainment, with lies through toxic conversations, you are opening doors to the enemy. I am not saying to be ignorant of what is happening in the world. I am not saying to never watch anything or listen to anything. I am saying to be intentional, to be selective, to be discerning, to protect your gates. Your eyes and your ears are gates to your soul. What comes through those gates will either strengthen you or weaken you, build you up or tear you down, increase your faith or increase your fear. Fill your mind with my word. Fill your ears with worship. Fill your eyes with things that are true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable. When you control what goes into your mind, you control the atmosphere of your soul. When you guard your heart, you guard your life. Sixth, surround yourself with people who build your faith, not people who feed your fear. The enemy will use people, even people who love you, to speak fear into your life. They mean well. They think they are being realistic. They think they are helping you prepare for the worst. But what they are actually doing is planting seeds of doubt, watering seeds of fear, fertilizing seeds of anxiety. You need people in your life who speak faith, who remind you of my promises, who call out the gold in you, who see your potential, who believe in your calling, who pray with you, not just about you, who stand with you in spiritual warfare, who celebrate your wins and mourn your losses. They will experience hope through your words without recognizing what makes them so powerful. They will be touched by your love without comprehending what makes it so genuine. And when they ask what makes you different, you will have the opportunity to tell them about the love that broke your chains, Some will receive what you offer eagerly, hungry for the freedom they see in you. Others will resist, not ready to let go of familiar chains even though they are painful. Still others will attack, threatened by the freedom you represent because it challenges the bondage they have accepted. But in every case, you will have planted seeds of truth, scattered fragments of hope, and demonstrated the reality of my love. Your freedom will not be perfect from day one. Like a muscle that has been bound, your soul will need time to regain its full strength. Like eyes that have been in darkness, your spirit will need time to adjust to the light. Like a bird that has been caged, your heart will need time to learn how to soar. But with each passing day, with each choice to live from truth rather than lies, with each decision to walk in love rather than fear, you will grow stronger, clearer, and more free. There will be moments when you feel like the old person again, when the weight of former chains seems to return, when the whispers of old lies seem louder than the voice of truth. In those moments, you must remember that feelings are not facts, that temporary setbacks are not permanent reversals, and that growing in freedom is a process, not a one-time event. You must be patient with yourself as you learn to live in liberty. You must be gracious with yourself when you stumble as you learn to walk in freedom. You must be encouraging to yourself when doubts arise about whether your deliverance is real. You must remember that I am patient with your process, gracious with your struggles, and encouraging in your journey toward greater freedom. The chains that held you were not formed overnight, and learning to live without them will not happen overnight either. But every day brings greater freedom, deeper healing, stronger faith, and clearer understanding of who you are and what I have called you to do. Every day you become more of the person I designed you to be, and less of the person that circumstances, people, and the enemy tried to make you. Though I may choose to bless you with abundance, it is about having the right perspective on money and resources. You will understand that I am your provider, that everything you have comes from me, and that you are a steward, rather than an owner of the resources in your care. This perspective will free you from both poverty and greed. You will not be poor in spirit even if you have little money, and you will not be rich in arrogance even if you have much money. You will be generous without being foolish, wise without being stingy, and content without being complacent. You will make financial decisions based on faith and wisdom rather than fear and emotion. Your giving will become joyful rather than dutiful. Your saving will be prudent rather than fearful. Your spending will be intentional rather than compulsive. Your investment decisions will be guided by wisdom rather than greed or fear. Money will serve you rather than enslaving you, and you will use it to advance my kingdom and bless others rather than just accumulating it for your own security. In your physical health, my love is breaking the chain of body shame that has made you either neglect your physical well-being or become obsessed with your appearance. This chain has caused you to see your body as an enemy to be punished, a burden to be endured, or an object to be perfected rather than a temple to be honored and cared for. The freedom I am giving you will transform your relationship with your physical body. You will see it as the temple of my Holy Spirit, fearfully and wonderfully made by my hand, and deserving of respect and care. You will make choices about food, exercise, rest, and medical care from a place of love and stewardship, rather than shame or vanity. This does not mean you will become obsessed with health or appearance, but rather that you will find a balanced approach to physical wellness that honors both your body and your spirit.
The joy you sometimes think too small to share. All these I unfold with the warmth of my regard. I hold your story as precious, even when you wonder if each chapter has meaning. My gaze searches into the hidden spaces, every secret longing, every guarded memory, every hope you dare not speak aloud, yearning for light. I stretch with you in your days of waiting, and I walk with you in every confusion, never withdrawing my presence, even when you cannot sense me. I do not measure your worth as the world does, by achievement or renown or flawlessness. My heart rejoices simply that you are mine. In moments when you falter, when regret would weigh your spirit down, listen instead for my gentle encouragement. I call you forward, not to drown your failings in shame, but to raise your eyes to me who forgives, to me who makes all things new. Let your heart learn afresh that no mistake or weakness places you beyond my love. My mercy renews itself, not with reluctance, but with the eagerness of a parent kneeling to embrace a child. Trust that I do not grow weary of your weakness, nor am I impatient with your questions. In all things, I am working for your good, shaping you in wisdom and compassion. I invite you to rest, even as the world insists you must keep striving. Rest is not abandonment, but the gift of remembering I am God, and you are not required to carry every weight alone. Lay your burdens before me, even the ones you have carried so long you almost no longer feel their full heaviness. There is no shame in your fatigue or your sorrow. Bring it all to me. I do not turn away from the messiness of your soul. I tend to it with tenderness. I am the one who gives you peace, not as the world gives. When you open your heart to my peace, it does not mean your troubles disappear, but even in the midst of storms, return to me as often as your thoughts run wild. My welcome is open again and again. In your moments of uncertainty, I am not disappointed by your questions. I invite every honest doubt, every silent plea. What now? My love for you is not fragile. It stands firm through all your trials. What you see as weakness is where my strength is made clear. If you need assurance, simply ask. I remind you again, nothing separates you from my care. Let this day unfold not in dread, but in expectation of my kindness breaking through. As you lift your face in the gentle light, let hope find you. I know the weariness you feel. I am attentive to the frustrations you carry from unfinished dreams, the pain of waiting longer than you thought you could bear. Even here, I am at work. Each prayer spoken, each tear shed, I gather with honor, turning what feels like delay into a wellspring of growth. My timing often answers the ache in your heart in ways you cannot predict. If discouragement weighs you down, breathe and remember that I am for you. I will not let confusion be the final word over your life. My wisdom is not hidden, but available to every heart that asks in humility. Open your thoughts to me, set aside pride, and receive the clarity I long to give you. Walk with me through uncertainty rather than racing ahead. The peace you seek is not found at the finish line, but in each step we take together. You are growing into the person I spoke you would become. Even now, transformation is ripening within you, unseen by the world, but precious to me. Do not despise days of small beginnings. I delight in your willingness to trust, to seek me even when answers seem slow. I am shaping a resilience in you, a calm strength that will bless not only you, but all those your life touches. Remain open to my leading. Your destiny is unfolding according to my promise. Let your spirit settle. Allow yourself a few deep breaths. With every inhale, recall that my spirit fills you with life. With every exhale, let go of tension you were never meant to carry alone. The world moves fast, but I never rush my work in you. Receive the grace to move at my pace. There is nothing you could do today that would separate my love from you or reduce my commitment to your story. You are mine, cherished and secure. Do not be troubled by what you cannot see or understand. I am lighting your path, one step at a time. Even darkness is as bright as day to me.
First, you find peace. Second, I can work more freely in their lives because you are not interfering with what I am trying to do. Sometimes my children need to hit bottom in order to look up. Sometimes they need to face the full weight of their choices in order to be motivated to make different ones. Sometimes they need to exhaust every other option before they are willing to try my way. And if you keep trying to cushion every fall and rescue them from every consequence, you are actually preventing the very thing that would bring them to breakthrough. I know that sounds harsh. I know it feels unloving to step back and let someone you care about struggle. But sometimes the most loving thing you can do is release them to me and trust me to do what is necessary. This does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you cut them off or give up on them. It means you shift from trying to control their journey to simply walking alongside them with love while I work. It means you replace anxiety with intercession. Instead of lying awake worrying about them, you pray for them, and then sleep in peace, knowing I am at work. Instead of constantly trying to fix or change them, you love them where they are while trusting me to transform them in my timing. And here is what will happen when you make this shift. You will experience freedom you have not felt in years. The burden you have been carrying that was never yours to carry will lift. Your relationships with these people will actually improve because you are no longer trying to control them, and they are no longer resisting your control. You will have energy for your own life and your own walk with me, instead of pouring it all into trying to manage someone else's. And you will start to see me work in their lives in ways that would never have been possible while you were interfering. I want to speak specifically now about the miraculous power that is available to you when you learn to rest in me instead of strive in anxiety. I multiply everything you have sincerely given. Help everyone you can. Do not think twice. Perhaps you will need angels on your way asking you for clothes and food to test your heart, to see your sincere attitude and multiply your blessing even more. The truth about grace revolutionizes everything you thought you knew about your relationship with me. Grace is not me simply overlooking your sin or lowering my standards to accommodate your weakness. Grace is me fully acknowledging the severity of your sin, recognizing that it deserves death, and then directing that death sentence toward my Son on the cross so that you can receive life instead. Grace means I am not waiting for you to clean yourself up before I love you. I already love you completely right now, exactly as you are. And that love is the power that enables you to change. Grace is not a license to sin. Grace is the power that breaks sin's dominion over your life. When you truly understand that you are loved unconditionally, that your acceptance is not based on your performance, that nothing you do can make me reject you, something shifts deep in your heart. The fear-based motivation that drives religious striving is replaced by love-based motivation that produces genuine transformation. You stop trying to earn my favor and start living from the reality that you already have it. You stop performing for my approval and start resting in the approval you have already received. You stop working for your salvation and start working from your salvation. This changes everything about how you approach obedience. You no longer obey to gain my love. You obey because you have received my love. You no longer serve to earn rewards. You serve out of gratitude for the ultimate reward you have already been given. You no longer avoid sin out of fear of punishment. You avoid sin because you have tasted something far better, and you do not want to settle for anything less. The connections you made that seemed coincidental are actually divine appointments. Everything has been working together to position you for this moment, to prepare you for this assignment, to equip you for this purpose. And now, the time has come. The season is here. The moment has arrived for you to step into your calling, to walk in your purpose, to fulfill your destiny. And I am going to give you everything you need to do it successfully. Wisdom to know what to do, courage to do what needs to be done, strength to persevere when it gets difficult, grace to navigate the challenges, favor to open the doors, resources to accomplish the assignment, relationships to support the journey, and my presence to guide every step. Sixth, your authority is about to increase. You are about to step into a new level of spiritual authority. Authority over demonic forces, authority over circumstances, authority over sickness, authority over lack, authority in prayer, authority in declaration, authority in intercession. The enemy has been able to harass you because you did not understand your authority. He has been able to oppress you because you did not exercise your authority. He has been able to hinder you because you did not enforce your authority. But that is about to change. You are about to realize who you are in me. You are about to understand what has been given to you. You are about to recognize the authority you carry. And when you do, when you start operating in that authority, everything shifts. The enemy that has been attacking you will flee. The circumstances that have been controlling you will change. The sickness that has been afflicting you will leave. The lack that has been limiting you will end, because you will be operating from your position of authority in Christ. You will be enforcing what has been established through the cross. You will be declaring what has been determined in heaven, and hell will have to yield. Demons will have to obey. Circumstances will have to align. Sickness will have to go. Lack will have to leave. Because you are operating in the authority that has been given to you as a child of the King. Seventh, your joy is about to be restored. The heaviness that has been on you is about to be lifted. The sadness that has been your constant companion is about to depart,
but by the gentle persuasion of unwavering love. Now, as you take your next steps, Hear again the assurance of my devotion to you. I have called you by name, and nothing can separate you from my embrace. Not your failures, not your fears, not even the questions that linger when night falls and sleep eludes you. Beyond every horizon you cannot foresee, I am already present, making a way, holding you fast and willing you onward with all the tenderness and strength of my heart. Rest, beloved, in the certainty that you are never out of reach, never beyond the bounds of redeeming love. Beloved, every day I am with you, closer than your breath, seeing what you carry, your hidden fears and your quiet hopes. I do not wait far off for you to prove yourself worthy. In each moment I draw near in perfect understanding, taking nothing about you for granted. When you feel unseen or unheard, I am attending even to your smallest sighs and silent prayers. My love remains undiminished by your confusion or by the weights you struggle to name. I do not shy away when you resist me, and nor does your brokenness diminish my affection. My delight in you is steadfast, anchored not in your efforts but in who you are to me. You cannot wear me out, not with your doubts, not with your need, not even with your anger or grief. You do not exhaust my patience. I know when pain pinches your heart and when disappointment leaves you weary. I know the cost of your forgiveness and every quiet act of courage when you move toward others, even as you wish to keep distance. I honor each moment you choose gentleness over bitterness, compassion instead of judgment. What you consider fragile progress, I celebrate as victory. The faltering way you try again despite fear, I count as faith. I do not measure you by your last failure or compare you against the strength of others. I measure you only according to my love and desire for you. Let yourself lean on me, especially when you feel most frail. I am your fortitude when yours wanes, your comfort when loss hollows your heart. When questions overwhelm or suffering leaves you unsure of me, I welcome even your reproach. I do not require you to fake trust. Your honesty with me is sacred. Your lament is not shameful in my eyes, nor is your wrestling a failure. Bring your confusion and anger, it is safe with me. You mistake me if you think I will turn away because your heart is loud or restless. I made your heart with its depth and longing, its wonder and ache. Nothing about it is foreign to me. I walk with you in your shadows. I bear with you in your doubt.
Your seed is in good soil, and the harvest is coming. In the season of waiting, when you have done everything you know to do, and now you must be patient. When the answer seems delayed and the promise appears distant, I am faithful. I have not forgotten you. I have not abandoned your cause. I am working behind the scenes, arranging circumstances, preparing people, positioning everything for your breakthrough. Your waiting is not wasted time. It is preparation time. In the season of testing, when your faith is being tried, when everything seems to contradict my promises, when the enemy attacks and circumstances are overwhelming, I am faithful. I will not allow you to be tested beyond what you can bear. I will provide a way of escape. I will bring you through victoriously. The fire will not consume you. It will only purify you, removing the dross and revealing the gold. In the season of wilderness, when you feel alone, when my presence seems distant, when you are stripped of everything you relied on except me, I am faithful. I am teaching you dependence. I am developing your character. I am preparing you for the promised land. The wilderness is not your destination. It is a necessary passage on the way to your destiny. In the season of battle, when enemies rise up against you, when warfare is intense, when the fight seems long and hard, I am faithful. I am fighting for you. My angels are warring on your behalf. The battle is mine, not yours. The victory is already won. Stand firm and see my salvation. In the season of transition, when everything is changing, when you are leaving the familiar and entering the unknown, when you are between what was and what will be, I am faithful. I am guiding you. I go before you to prepare the way. I am with you every step. I will bring you safely to where I am taking you. In the season of harvest, when blessings are flowing, when promises are being fulfilled, when doors are opening, when favor is evident, I am faithful. But my love is empowering you to take responsibility for your responses, to be proactive in creating positive change, and to understand that while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond to what happens to you. The chain of scarcity that has convinced you that there is not enough love, blessing, opportunity, or success to go around is being broken by my love at this moment. Scarcity thinking has made you hoard rather than share, compete rather than celebrate, fear rather than trust. But my love is revealing that I have unlimited resources, infinite blessings, and abundant provision for all my children, and that when you operate from abundance rather than scarcity, you become a conduit for blessing rather than a container that hoards. The chain of pride that has isolated you from others, prevented you from receiving help, and convinced you that asking for assistance is a sign of weakness, is being obliterated by my love completely. Pride has whispered that you must be self-sufficient, that needing others makes you inferior, that vulnerability is dangerous and should be avoided. But my love is teaching you that interdependence is how I designed relationships to work, that asking for help is actually a sign of wisdom, and that vulnerability creates connection and intimacy. Each of these chains has had a voice in your life, speaking lies that have shaped your thoughts, influenced your decisions, and limited your potential. But my love has a louder voice, a truer voice, a more powerful voice that silences every lie and speaks truth that sets you free. As each chain breaks, you will hear my voice more clearly, understand my heart more deeply, and experience my love more fully. The breaking of these chains is not just about removing negative patterns. You are going to declare what I am saying without apology. This boldness is not arrogance. This is confidence in who I am and what I have spoken. This is knowing that you are not speaking your own words but mine, and my words do not return void. They accomplish what I send them to accomplish. When you speak my words with boldness, they carry power. They pierce through lies. They shatter strongholds. They bring light into darkness. Do not shrink back from this boldness. Do not let fear silence you. I need you to be a voice, not an echo. I need you to speak what I give you to speak, when I give it to you, to whom I send you. Trust that I will give you the words. Trust that I will back up what I tell you to say, and speak with boldness. Your home is being established as a place of breakthrough for your entire family line. What happens here will affect not just you, but your children, and your children's children. The choices you make right now are setting trajectories for generations to come. The freedom you walk in will be passed down. The blessings you receive will overflow to your descendants. The intimacy with me that you cultivate will create a hunger in your children to know me the way you know me. You are not just living for yourself. You are building a legacy. You are establishing a foundation that future generations will build on. This responsibility is weighty, but it is also beautiful. You have the opportunity to change the trajectory of your entire family tree. The curses that have been operating for generations stop with you. The dysfunction that has been repeating stops with you. The poverty mindset stops with you. The broken relationships stop with you. And in their place, you are establishing new patterns. Patterns of faith. Patterns of integrity. Patterns of generosity, patterns of healthy communication and relationship, patterns of seeking me first, patterns of walking in your identity as my child. These patterns will be caught by your children and passed down to their children. As you surrender these anxieties, let them slip like sand through open fingers. I am strengthening your identity, not in what you achieve, but in how you receive my love, again and again. The patience I am cultivating in you is not passivity. It is an active waiting, a steady confidence that grows with every prayer, every act of kindness, every time you choose hope over resignation. You are not a spectator in your own story. The very air you breathe is charged with my spirit, inviting you to trust me for the next step, not the entire blueprint. When overwhelmed, simply pause, place your hand on your heart, and hear my quiet assurance that you are mine. Let this become a refuge, a place to return when the world clamors for your attention. My peace does not come and go with circumstances. It remains as surely as day follows night. There are days when you may doubt whether your longing matters to me, when it seems the doors before you remain closed. But remember, not every closed door is rejection. It can be redirection, sparing you from heartache you cannot yet see. When you release your grip on what must be, Watch how new possibilities draw near. My wisdom is not always seen in the moment. Often, it is unveiled in hindsight. When you see how I have brought you past obstacles and into seasons of renewal, even when you do not understand, dare to believe that my goodness is working quietly, like a river shaping stones beneath the surface. I call you to participate with me, not by striving but by surrendering your plans and listening for my whisper in ordinary moments. Your willingness to be molded, to trust beyond what you can prove, is a declaration that you are not alone. This is where courage is formed not in the roar, but in the quiet confidence that says, "My Father is here, and I am safe." As you pursue your work and care for those entrusted to you, know that every small act matters. The love you give, even when unnoticed, is planting something eternal. Keep drawing near, letting gratitude soften the hardened places inside you, making room for fresh vision. My child, remember how you began this journey, with hope flickering in your chest and a sense of promise ahead. I have not forgotten that spark within you. I am the one who kindled it. When fatigue tempts you to turn back or close your heart, draw in a deep breath and let me renew your strength. I'm not asking you to pretend away disappointment, but to bring it to me honestly. In my presence, burdens lose their power. Rest in the assurance that nothing in your life is wasted. Even delays are held in my compassionate hands and transformed over time. You who are mine, do not fear missing out on what is meant for you. My plans do not ride on your perfection, but on my steadfast faithfulness. What you entrust to me, I keep. What you surrender, I multiply. The season of lack is ending. The season of barely getting by is ending. The season of constant struggle with no breakthrough is ending. You are about to step into a season of supernatural provision, where doors open that you did not knock on, where opportunities appear that you did not seek, where provision comes from directions you never expected, where favor is shown to you that you did not earn, where blessings chase you down rather than you chasing them, where abundance becomes your new normal rather than scarcity, where overflow replaces just enough, where more than enough replaces barely enough. Prepare for a very big change, and do not cling to continue living as you did in the past, always worried and discouraged. With my blessing also comes wisdom, power, and the capacity to make good decisions, to take care of what I give you, so that everything you receive multiplies in your hands and also becomes a blessing for others. Just be grateful and trust, because I am changing your life. I am preparing you because soon you will arrive at that place where many opportunities will arise. For a long time, you sowed seeds of faith in your heart, and wherever you went. Many times I saw you go through great difficulties, very complicated tests, and yet you never doubted my power. You never doubted that I was by your side. That is why you won. You believed in me. That is why I helped you. My grace and mercy have been poured out on you, and with my powerful hand I will grow all these seeds you have planted. They will bear fruit abundantly in your life and in the lives of all those around you. Your breakthrough is not coming someday. It is here now. It arrived the moment my presence entered your home. Receive it, walk in it, live from it. In Jesus' name, amen. You can be physically alone and not feel lonely if you know you are loved, if you feel connected to me and to others, if you have the assurance that you matter to someone, that you are valued, that your existence makes a difference. Conversely, you can be surrounded by people and feel profoundly lonely if those relationships are superficial, if no one really knows you, if you have to pretend to be someone you are not in order to be accepted. The loneliness you have been experiencing is not primarily about a lack of people in your life. It is about a lack of genuine connection. It is about feeling unseen, unheard, misunderstood. It is about the pain of not being known, of having to hide your true self, of wearing masks to meet others' expectations while your authentic self remains concealed and unknown. But here is what I want you to understand. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You will never be alone. Even when every human being abandons you, even when you have no one to turn to, even when you feel completely isolated and cut off from all connection, I am with you. My presence is with you always. My spirit dwells within you. I know you completely. I see you fully. I understand you perfectly. And I love you unconditionally. This is not theoretical knowledge. This is not religious platitude. This is reality. I am actually, truly, genuinely present with you right now in this moment. I am not far away in heaven observing you from a distance. I am here, closer than your next breath, more present than the air around you, more real than anything you can see or touch. And I am not just present as an observer. I am present as a friend, as a companion. You will be everything I created you to be, transformed by my love into my glorious image. You are going to have peace even when things seem impossible to you. I have good plans for you, to give you a future full of hope. I am always with you, giving you strength and love to move forward. In every step you take, in every decision you make, remember that my love and my power are constant. They are your safest refuge, your most faithful friend. My love for you is immense, and my commitment to you is eternal. Like a guardian who never sleeps, that is how I am. Alert and active in every aspect of your life, making sure that every detail fits into this perfect plan that I have designed for you. In moments of doubt, trust my love, my power, my faithfulness. They are unbreakable promises, signed with blood that will never fail you. So with everything I tell you, every teaching I share with you, I want you to feel my presence, my protection, and my promise to always take care of you. Together we will walk through this journey, facing every challenge with courage and every new day with hope, knowing that in the end, victory and happiness, my grace and mercy will reach you. They are yours. Nothing and no one can steal them from you. I love you with eternal love. I long for you to come to me in prayer every day. The doors of my throne are open. Here in my presence is your blessing. I will reward you in public. I am going to reward your faith. All those who mocked you are going to be surprised. The envious who wanted you to fall will be ashamed. You will see that it is worth trusting in your omnipotent God. When I promise something, it is as good as done because I have the power to accomplish whatever I speak. The only question is timing, and my timing is always perfect, working all things together for maximum blessing. Only I bring you love and infinite peace. I am protecting your life and the life of the people you love with my protective shield. I keep them under my wings, and here they will be safe. I will not let any evil touch them. I will guide you along the paths of good and love. You will be free from worries, doubts, and fears. I love you. I care for you and yours with sweetness and affection. Open your heart to receive all the love I have to give you. I want you to spend more time in my presence, to be in places of silence and in the midst of nature, because there I will give you food for your soul and renewal for your being. My power is moving around your paths. It is opening doors. It is cleaning negativity. And I am removing from your life what caused many things to go wrong. I have already washed your sins. I have removed all weariness and lack of encouragement so you may be braver every day. Trust. Everything will be in your favor because my angels work day and night under my orders to bless you powerfully. Expand your faith and praise my name with passion. You are and always will be very loved by me. When fear and despair knock on your door, when doubts and uncertainties try to knock you down, when sadness and fatigue want to enter your heart, remember me. I will always be by your side. If your emotions tell you that you are alone, you are not. If inside your chest you feel an intense desire to cry, cry, but with joy, because my love is covering you, my affection embraces you, and my spirit guides you.
I am quietly organizing new beginnings. My plans for you do not expire or become irrelevant with time or fatigue. Notice what surrounds you now, the texture of your blanket, the coolness of the air, the hush that fills this room. These simple gifts are reminders that I see you, hear you, and choose you fresh each morning. Even as you struggle to see your own progress, I watch over you like a gardener, patient and delighted by every tiny shoot of trust that breaks through the soil. When gratitude feels distant, let it arise not from outcomes, but from my companionship. Let yourself whisper thanks for moments of comfort, for a single breath, for the gift of another day to know me. Those you love, those who burden your mind or sometimes break your heart, are enveloped in my care as well. I go ahead of you into your relationships and into each conversation, planting seeds of peace and wisdom where frustration or distance once ruled. Surrender your need to control, and hand me your fears for your family. Your prayers are not lost or ignored. Every time you mention their names, I am attentive, working in ways you cannot yet see, gently orchestrating redemption and restoration for each one. You worry about timing, about lost opportunities or doors that seem sealed tight.